Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to cover the pro division for the Golf Clash quarterback tournament. So you can see here minus 14 with an ugly par on hole number 7. I just tried to get cute and try to correct a shot that I barely missed on my other account, but I used too much topspin, which put me rolling way too far down, and I couldn't save the hole. But regardless, that's not going to happen again. So minus 14, even with a par, we'll take it. That's what qualifying is for, to test a couple shots out, see what works, and see what doesn't work. You know the drill. If you're not a subscriber, I really hope that you would become one. I would appreciate it so much. And if you do find this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. And this is going to be my first pro walkthrough after being invited to Team Tommy. So I'm super excited about that. I just want to take a second to thank everybody for your love and your support week in and week out, that was able to, take me to the next level, hopefully. So thank you very much, everybody. All right, hole number 1, here we go. Really one of my favorite holes to play in the game, just simply for shot number 2. I think is a lot of fun. Here we're going to go 20% elevation. We're going to use our quarterback, and we're going to make sure that our ball guideline is straight, just like that. We don't want it to where it's sloping back downhill. So move your target to the left until you find that spot. Again, this is 20% at max distance of our club. We get a perfect ball, and we're just looking to lay this thing up here at the top of the fairway by the bunkers. All right, shot number 2, I always play it the same way. I play it 15%. I always play it at max distance of my sniper, even though we're not at max. Here I'm going with full backspin, all right? And you're going to notice 1 bar of right side spin. That's just to counter the crosswind to the left. I'm looking for the funnel. As you can see here, I'm aiming right at the dead center of the hole. Now, what I want you to do is once you find dead center, I want you to move it over just a click to the right-hand side of the cup, okay? Because on my other account, I rolled the cup on the left-hand side. So you'll see here that we're almost center, but we're just favoring the right-hand side of the cup. And you'll see that I got a little bit of my yellow ring on the fringe line. Again, 15% at max distance of our club. Even though we're not at max distance, we still play it that way. Perfect ball. This thing comes down top of the hill. And we smack the pin, and we fall in for an eagle. So a really good way to start the tournament. Let's hope we get lucky in the next few rounds on that one. All right, that's going to bring us into hole number 2. Hole number 2, I pick up a hole-in-one on both accounts. We always play this one 30% at max of our club. And what I'm looking for here is just to simply find the funnel. There's a really good funnel here, and I'm going to show you how good it is. Half a bar of side spin to the right. Notice here I've got my yellow ring up on that rough line, all right? Notice how the ball guideline is going past the pin and to the left-hand side of the cup. That is because we have headwind, and that's because this green slopes from left to right. So we're going to let the green do the work for us. The only thing that stinks about this shot is you're going to have to push your rings instead of pull, because those trees and bushes are going to get in your way. So if you're not good at pushing your rings, you're going to be learning on the fly, because this is definitely the best way to play this hole. Now we do fire off a perfect ball, which is always nice. We clip the rough, and as you can see here, we roll, and we sneak this thing into the right-hand side of the pin for a hole-in-one. Now, for you money ball players, I decided to use my last Burns ball on this account to really reduce the wind, but I am looking for the same thing here as far as my setup goes. The reason that I used a Win 5 ball is because I hate pushing my rings. So this is going to make that push a lot smaller. Same thing though, half a bar of side spin to the right. Same type of setup. I'm just looking to let the wind and the green do the work for us. Here I had a hard time grabbing the screen to push my rings. but I ended up getting it figured out. I want you to show this. This is why I'm showing you this funnel here. This is a great shot to the right. And as long as we clip the rough, we're still okay. Doesn't mean it's going to go in every time, but you can see here this thing was dead center, even on a great shot. So the funnel is really good. Good luck, everybody. I think that one will treat you all pretty well. All right, so that's the drops on 1 and 2. I really honestly felt like I could have dropped almost every hole in this tournament. So now we're going to go on to hole number 3. Notice here I back up my extra mile because we're getting a little bit of headwind. I backed mine up to the +10, and I decided to go ahead and use max side spin to the left with half of a bar of top spin. That puts us nicely onto the fairway and leaves us for a good chance at hole number 3, shot 2 for an albatross opportunity. So we're going to play this one 0% at mid distance. That's what I'm playing it. 0% at mid for me. And then I noticed here that I pulled the wrong rings, so I went back and I readjusted what it should have been. Can't say I've done that too many times, but I do clip the rough, and we come extremely close to dropping this one into the hole. So that gives us a nice rough bump opportunity for an albatross for hole number 3. And then we go on to hole number 4. Hole number 4 is tricking me up a little bit here. And you're going to see the setup spot, and we'll talk about what I would do differently. So here I'm using no spin. And the reason that I'm using no spin is because on my other account, I used 1 bar of top spin to put my ball guideline through the hole. And even in 6 mile per hour headwind, the ball came in way too hot, and it came into the left-hand side. So here, I'm using no spin at all. The ball guideline is still barely through the hole. And I didn't offset. I just wanted to see what would happen with using no spin. This is 10% at max. So you can see here, this green rolls fast, and I still came into the left-hand side. So what could you do differently? I wouldn't really want to add too much right side spin because that gives the ball too far to travel with side spin. I would really just aim this ball in the corner of the right-hand side of the cup from the get-go. So I would offset the shot instead of playing spin. All right, hole number 5. I'm going to show you 2 looks at hole number 5, and the 2 looks will be on the second approach. Here I'm not using any elevation. We're getting direct headwind. I'm just using a Titan. I'm going almost full overpower, but not quite. And I'm just letting this ball rip. You have lots of fairway to work with here. So this is what the approach is going to look like. And how far you get is going to determine if you hit a perfect ball, how much top spin you have, if you hit a great shot, whatever. But this is shot number 2, all right? And this is my Goliath shot. Now, I'm playing this one 10% at absolute minimum of my club. Now, you can see here I went with max backspin, and I'm just trying to, get the ball to bounce into the hole. Again, this is 10% at minimum distance. Now, the nice thing is I get a perfect ball. You can see here I hop over the hole. I didn't have a lot more room to work with to bring my target back any further because I would have got caught in between clubs. And again, the Goliath is a powerful club. So on my other account, I decided to use the Grizzly. Grizzly has less power, but my drive went further up. So, from here, I couldn't really take that same shot. So I had to depend on the hill and trying to catch this spot to roll into the cup. So you're going to see here, I went with max backspin and 1 bar of side spin to the right, I believe. Let me double check here. Not max backspin, I'm sorry. Maybe it was. Yeah, max back. Come on, Dave. 1 bar of side spin to the right. Now, you'll see where I'm trying to aim here. I'm trying to visualize my ball guideline going to the cup, and I wish the game would change this. Notice how the long iron, the Grizzly, is getting in my way of seeing my shot. I don't like that. I know what kind of club I have, Playdemic. Let's take that off there. So here, you can see I've got my ball guideline. I'm trying to visualize if that's aiming right down at the cup. But for reference purposes, you can see I'm almost hitting the corner of the light green square. I'm to the right of the corner of the light green square at the end of my ball guideline. 10% at mid, okay, 10% at mid is what I pull this. I get a perfect ball. And that only misses by half a green square to the left. So all I would do is use the exact same spin, but I would move my target half a green square to the right, and I think you're going to be really close to picking up, that shot right there. Okay, hole number 6 is a lot of fun. We get to rip it here with the Berserker, and I'm going to show you a couple different things that can happen on your drive. So full top 2 right is how I'm playing this, and I think the most important thing is I stretch my club up to get this angle, and I always have on this hole in tournaments. You want to make sure that when you stretch your club, your ball guideline is fully developed, okay? Fully developed, just like that. And then from here, you want to pull at no elevation, which is what I'm doing right here, and then you want to flip it around and push back up to max. Now you're going to see here, I'm going full overpower, with just a little bit of curl to the right, not a lot. The reason I want a little bit of curl to the right is because we don't want to roll into the bunker that's down here on the left-hand side. I even hit a great left, and I was able to avoid that bunker right there, leaving us for a very simple chip in to pick up an eagle. Now, here's my other account, and I would just keep in mind that I have an extra mile 9, so I've got a little bit more top spin than everybody who's playing with an extra mile 8. You can easily make that shot with an extra mile 8 though, so no worries. Again, no elevation, push back up to max, a little bit of right curl. Now this one is the opposite. I hit a great ball to the right, and you'll see this ball takes off a little bit on me, and I end up rolling into the rough, unfortunately. But the good part is I still made the shot and saved the eagle. But, I don't think that anybody with an extra mile 8 was going to roll into the rough, because you can see I barely rolled into the rough. But I just wanted to show you, what that shot looks like on 2 different ways. Here's pretty straightforward, no elevation. They're making a slight ring pull. We get this ball to drop in for an eagle. And then, I played this one out of the rough here. Out of the rough, I always use max top spin. And the nice part about this is, look where my ball is at, look where the target is. It's very, very, not much distance for the ball to travel. So although I do hit perfect here, which is nice, I'm able to sneak this ball into the cup and pick up an eagle on both accounts. Just barely, but, we were fine. Okay, so that's hole number 6. Let it rip. On to hole number 7. Now, hole number 7, you're going to see this replay. I'm not going to show you the other one that I got a par on, because I'm going to tell you what happened. Max side spin to the left. Okay, no top spin. Now notice my ball guideline right here. It's not developed. But if I move my target around, I can catch this part that is developed. And the ball guideline is significantly through the hole, as you can see. And what I should have noticed is how much this green slopes downhill. Now this shot's fine. This shot's played at 20% elevation at mid distance of my club. Perfect ball. No fear of sand. I thought, that's pretty good, for my first attempt at this one. Miss it by a couple green squares. So what do you think I did on my other account? Well, I used 1 bar of top spin. That was it. 1 bar to give me a little bit more juice. I had the exact same setup. And man, I caught this roll downhill onto the green, and my ball stopped right before the fringe line. I wish it would have got to the fringe line, because the putt that it had me take, I couldn't see. I couldn't see the graphic where the hole lights up and you're in the hole. All I could see was the flag stick raise up and down. I took the shot, I hit the putt perfect, but I still missed. So I do like this shot. I would use maybe just a half a bar of top spin or a quarter bar of top spin, and I think we're going to be pretty close. Now, of course, there's a very safe way to play it. You could easily move your target here to the left-hand side and play with max right side spin, or heck, you could probably even use a quarterback and play on the left-hand side of these bunkers here and be really safe. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I just thought that I could get this shot close. But, I do think it will be a more difficult hole-in-one either way you play it. So, just play whatever suits your style. All right, that's going to take us into hole number 8. This one I'm frustrated on. This is normally like an automatic eagle for me, as you saw in rookie, and I normally do extremely well on this hole in pro. We are getting headwind, so I am using a kingmaker here. I don't normally use a kingmaker on this hole, but we're going to need it with the headwind. I do pull this at 10% elevation, and then we're going to have to go into a little bit of overpower and a little bit of left curl, just to make sure that we avoid that bunker there. So you can see here I've got the OP, got about half a ball of curl to the left. We do hit a perfect ball, but even with that, we still come dangerously close to clipping this bunker here, as you can see right there. But, we land on the fairway, leaving us for a really good approach to shot number 2. Now, here's shot number 2 with an Endbringer. I would have really liked to have been in thorn range, but I'm not. So here, I'm just going to play this one at mid-distance with no elevation. So mid at no elevation. You can see here, I've got this ball guideline favoring the left-hand side of the cup just because of how bouncy the green is. No spin, favoring left-hand side of the cup, 10% at mid, perfect ball, and I'll be darned if this thing just doesn't roll right to the right-hand side of the cup. So what do we learn from that? If you're playing it with the wedge, add half a bar of left side spin. Half a bar of left side spin. Why do I say half? Because here's what this shot looks like on my other account. Now, on this account, I used way more left curl because I wanted to get into thorn range. I did not want to be in Endbringer range. So I'm using my thorn, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to apply 1 bar of left side spin because of how my other shot rolled. So I'm kind of doing the same setup as you can see here. Although I'm aiming a little bit more center just because I'm using that left side spin. 10% at mid. And I'll be darned if I don't miss right on the left-hand side. So too much side spin. That's why I say, recommend anyways, half a bar of left curl. All right, that brings me to hole number 9. Hole number 9, I'm playing at 10% elevation on the drive. And here we're just letting it rip down the fairway. But again, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you become a subscriber if you're not one already, and I hope you hit that thumbs up button. That would mean a lot to me. Pretty bad, great right shot, but this hole is so forgiving because you have so much fairway to work with, and we roll on here nicely. Now this shot here is played at minus 10% elevation at mid-distance of my club. 4 top, 2 right. Perfect ball. And we just barely missed this one for a chance. Like I said, we had a lot of shots that were close. The shot that you just saw that I played it at 10%, minus 10% at max. I misspoke and said mid. I was going to try mid on my other accounts, but I hit a great shot. So I think 10% at mid, minus 10% at mid would be a little bit better. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. I will see you all in the next round. Good luck, everybody.